Injuries have been a recurring theme for Liverpool this season, and the problems continue to mount. The latest setback has added further strain to Arne Slot's squad as he looks to keep the team competitive across multiple fronts. With fixtures coming thick and fast, the timing could hardly be worse, leaving Liverpool to once again adjust their plans and rely on depth to navigate a crucial period. Let's break this down in today's video, along with all the other Liverpool news from the last 24 hours. There is so much to discuss in today's video, so be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. But first, Florian Wirtz has had a slow start to life at Anfield, but he has been backed to assert himself, as he is not one of those divas. One byproduct of Wirtz's £116 million price tag is that he is expected to assimilate immediately into Liverpool's title-winning side. It has not quite been the case, with the 22-year-old struggling to connect with his new teammates, but there have been enough glimpses to suggest it is only a matter of time. His intentional flick-on to Mo Salah at Chelsea is a prime example of that, with the German ruining the number 11's finishing for not notching his first Premier League assist. While under an intense microscope at Liverpool, he has the backing of those in his homeland, with legend and current German FA director Rudi Völler telling Sky 90 that he is not one to sulk. "I know that he's not one of those divas in his position who stand around with their heads down if they're not passed to 3 times, Völler said via Bully News. Florian isn't like that. He's not only an extraordinary footballer, he also has a great character. He will give everything from the first to the last minute, always push forward. He also has incredible running stats. He will assert himself more pertinently." Völler underlines a point that many outside Liverpool's 4 walls seem to forget, that it takes time to develop a relationship and connection with a new team. Not to mention the entire team has also undergone significant changes and is finding its feet as a unit. The big difference is, at Bayer Leverkusen, despite the individual quality of the other players, he was always looked for, Völler explained further. Players like Granit Xhaka, Alejandro Grimaldo, or Robert Andrich certainly ran the game. But the moment Florian made himself available, he always got the ball. Even as a young guy, he was already the chief. "I deliberately watched some Liverpool games with him. He does an incredible amount of work, runs a lot, makes many sprints, and also goes deep. But he isn't played to in the way he was used to at Leverkusen or with the national team. That's something that has to be developed over weeks and months. It will click for Wirtz and Liverpool, but patience is needed until then, and the number 7 evidently has the character needed to navigate his tough start." Now, in another significant injury blow, Wataru Endo will not be involved in Japan's 2 fixtures this month due to injury, with the 32-year-old withdrawn after his cameo at Chelsea. Endo was one of 19 first-team players called up to represent their country during the October international break, with the midfielder set for valuable minutes. The Japan Football Association, however, announced on Monday that Endo will not be involved in their fixtures against Paraguay and Brazil due to an unspecified injury. Liverpool's number 3 came off the bench late in the defeat at Chelsea, replacing Alexis McAllister as Arne Slot's final substitution of the night. It was the first time Endo was utilised off the bench in the Premier League since the dying stages of the win over Arsenal at the end of August, taking his total minutes to 126 so far. Endo may not be the only player to be withdrawn this month, however, as Ibrahima Konate and Andy Robertson also left Stamford Bridge with injury concerns. Konate is set to undergo tests with the French national side after he was taken off early on Saturday, having felt his quad a little bit. Robertson, meanwhile, looked in particular discomfort as he limped off the pitch with the help of head of performance physical therapy Chris Morgan. It could therefore have proved quite a damaging match for Liverpool beyond just the defeat, but Slot and co will have their fingers crossed that none of the issues are serious. On their return from the international break, Liverpool face 7 games in 22 days and kickstart their run against Man United at Anfield on October 19. Further details on Endo's injury will likely surface over the coming days, but it does mean he misses out on a valuable opportunity for minutes as captain of his country. Liverpool will now be hoping that Endo's setback proves to be nothing more than a short-term concern, especially with a packed schedule looming after the international break. With key players already carrying knocks and a crucial run of fixtures ahead, Arne Slot can ill afford any further absences. The coming days will reveal more about the extent of the injuries, but for now, the Reds are once again left juggling uncertainty at a time when consistency is most needed. In other news, with quotes from Virgil van Dijk being shared widely on social media, we have heard what the Liverpool captain actually said about the reasons for Liverpool's tough season. Against Chelsea, Liverpool suffered a third consecutive defeat for the first time under Arne Slot, leading Van Dijk to reflect on the team's dip in form. Since full-time, quotes have been shared on social media in which Van Dijk references Diogo Jota's passing as a reason for the Reds having a difficult campaign. While this is an entirely understandable reason for individuals to be impacted, we thought it best to share what Van Dijk said in full on the subject. Van Dijk told Viaplay, "It was always going to be a tough season, I've mentioned. Nobody said that it was going to be plain sailing whatsoever. It was always going to be ups and downs for multiple reasons that we shouldn't forget, and all we have to do is stick together. It's been a tough week. A tough 10 days or something like that, more or less, but we know that the only way to get out of this is sticking together, keep working, and yeah, on to the next one. But obviously first we've got internationals, and then we focus on a very big one at Anfield. The death of a teammate is a completely valid cause for your mentality affected at times, but it isn't the entire reason for Liverpool's poor performances, and Van Dijk hasn't tried to suggest this. We should all do well to remember not to criticise individuals too harshly in public, given what they have been through. And while it doesn't exonerate complaints about Liverpool's performances, Jota's death is something to consider when judging the players this season. One grievance levelled at Liverpool from some quarters has been their naivety in giving away late goals in 2 consecutive league matches, surrendering 2 points in the process. Some would say Liverpool should have settled for a draw, but Van Dijk said, "I think we're always going to play and try and win the game. You say in the end we play with 2 midfielders in the last lines, Dominik Szoboszlai and Ryan Gravenberch, so we try everything, and that's how we always do it, and obviously if we are up we try to defend the lead. If it's a draw like today at a certain point, we try to score the winner." I felt like it could have gone both ways. It was wide open at times, and that's obviously for the neutral, it's quite nice to see, but obviously for us it's disappointing that we lost, so work to do. But stick together no matter what, and that's how we've always been doing with Liverpool, and we've been through a lot of ups and downs, and that's the only way to stick together. But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. We post all the latest Liverpool news every day, so join our fast growing community so you never miss out. Thank you, I'll see you in the next video.